Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 1-2 of October-November 2016 for Add Math paper 1. So now let's move on to question number 1. So here we have three sets. The first one is your universal set. Then we have A and B are such that the number of elements inside your universal set is 26. It means that your total number of elements is 26. That's the first information. Now we have this A intersecting B prime is 7. Number of elements for A intersecting B will be 3 and number of B will be 15. So part 1, using a Venn diagram or otherwise answer all these questions. So it is always best to draw a Venn diagram when you have these kind of questions. So let's do that. First thing we have the set A, and then you have your set B. Two sets, A and B. Now let's begin with this one. Number of elements of A and B will be 3. So this is 3. Now we have this one. Number of elements in B is 15. So this is 15. So this will be only B will be 15 minus 3. That will be 12. Now for this one, A intersecting B prime will be only A. That will be 7. So now you have to find what is outside. Will be 26 minus 7 minus 3 minus 12. So 26 minus 7 minus 3 minus 12, that will be 4. That will be outside of these sets. Now everything needs to add up to 26. That is your Venn diagram for this information. Now question part 1, we have to find the number of elements in A. So A will be 7 plus 3. That will give you 10 elements. Now for part 2, A union B. So A and B will be 7 plus 3, that is 10. 10 plus 12 will be 22. This is 22. And finally 3, we have number of elements of A union B prime. That should be 4. Outside of these two, that is 4. That is part 1. Now let's move on to part B. It is given that this is the universal set. It is between 0 and 30. So basically, it is not including those two. It is from 0 to 30, but not including those two values. Okay. P is a multiples of 5, so we can write down. So let's use P as multiple of 5. For example, we would say, so here the only thing is that we have not been given that if it is a integer or not, but that's okay. Not a problem. Question part 1. Q is multiple of 6 and R is multiple of 2. But if you would observe, let's say for example you have Q as your set, 6, 12, that will be 18, 24, right? And R will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, for example. For the multiples of 2, that will be just even numbers. Keep going on. So you can clearly see that all the elements of Q has to be inside of R. So Q is a subset of R. That's your first line. Now for this one, P intersecting Q. So P is 5. It is 5, 10, 15, 20, going on, right? But if you observe, we don't have anything in common between those two. This is multiple of 6, multiple of 5, so they don't have anything in common except only one number, which is 6 times 5, which is 30. But 30 is not inside of this. It is not including 30, so this one will be your empty set. Right. So that will be a question for part 1. So given that we have this equation equal to this, we have to find the values of A, B, and C. Now one by one, let's group all the P's together, all the Q's and all the R's. So here you see this. So what is this? Square root of Q, R, power 5. This is equal to QR 5 over 2. It is equal to Q 5 over 2 times R 5 over 2. Now let's replace this back in your equation. You will have, here we have P 1 over 3 divided by P minus 2 over 3. That is 4P. Now multiply. Here you have Q minus 1 over 2 over q 5 over 2 multiplied by r 3 over 2 divided by r 5 over 2. Now simplify one by one. So when you have divided, it becomes minus, so 1 over 3 minus minus 2 over 3. Q minus half minus 5 over 2 r 3 over 2 minus 5 over 2. Simplify 1 over 3 minus minus 2 over 3, that should be 1 times q minus half minus 5 over 2, that will be minus 3, and for r that will be 3 over 2 minus 5 over 2, that should be minus 1. So the values of a is 1, b is minus 3, and r will be c is minus 1, ABC. That is question number 2. Now question number 3, using the substitution y equal to this, find the values of x. So if you observe, here we have 3, log 3x is y, so we write y square plus. So when we have power here, we can send power here, you will have 5, log 3x is y, so that means y, minus, so what is this? Log base of 3, 9, it is equal to log base of 3, 3 power 2. So when you have power, you can send power here, you will have 2, log of 3, 3. Now log of 3, 3 is equal to 1, it is 2. So this is minus 2 equal to 0. Now this one is a simple quad equation, we can factorize that. That will be 3y, y, 2 is 2 times 1. For us to get plus 5, it has to be plus 6 minus 1. So here y is equal to 1 over 3, y is equal to minus 2, but we have to find the value of x, so replace y by this. Y is log 3x, 1 over 3, log 3x minus 2. So the value of x will be 3 power 1 over 3, x will be minus 2. If you simplify, that will become cube root of 3, or it can be 1 over 9. So for the values of x. And that is your question number 3. Let's move on to question 4. So part 1, find the first 3 terms in this expansion. So pretty easy. The first term, as always, it is 5, choose 0. The first term is 2x power 2. Sorry, it's inside, it's not outside. And this is minus 1 over 3x. So here we have 0, here it will be 0. So 5 minus 0 is 5, that will be 5. Plus the second term, 5 choose 1. Here we have 2x minus 1 over 3x. Here we have 1, that will be 1. 5 minus 1 is 4, that will be 4. And the third term, 5 choose 2, 2x square, and minus 1 over 3x. So we have 2, that will be 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. Now we can simplify. 5 choose 1 is 1 times 5, 2 power 5 is 32. X square power 5 will be x power 10. Now this is 1 as well. Now simplify. 5 choose 1 is 5. 2 power 4 is 16 times x, that will be 8, times minus 1 over 3x. Plus 5 choose 2 is 10. 2 power 3 will be 8. That will be x, 6, 1 over 9x squared. So now we have to simplify. X goes away, that will be 7. X squared, that will be 4. Now we will have 1 times everything, you will have 32 x power 10 plus 5 times 16 will be 80 minus, so minus 80 over 3 x power 7. And finally here we have plus 80 over 9 x power 4. So this is the first 3 terms of this expansion in the descending powers of x. Okay, so now part B, hence. So when you see hence, it means we have to use your answer for part 1. Hence, find the coefficient of x power 7 in this expansion. So for example, we have ax power 7. The coefficient means we have to find the value of a. Okay, so how do you expand this? Step by step. As always, this will equal to 3 times 2x square 1 over 3x power 5 plus 1 over x cubed times 2x square minus 1 over 3x power 5. So for the first one, we have to expand this one, and right now we are only interested by the power of x7. So 3 is a constant times what value in this expansion will give you x power 7. So constant times this one, right? So 3 times minus 80 over 3 x power 7 will give you x power 7. Now for this one, 1 over x cubed times which value will give you x power 7? So we choose times this one, times 32 x power 10 will give you x power 7. Now we'll simplify. This one goes away. X power 3, that will be 7. So simplify, you will have minus 80 x power 7 plus 32 x power 7. That will give you minus 80 plus 32. That will be minus 48 x power 7. But your question is find the coefficient, so we have to find the value in front. That will be minus 48. This is your answer for question number 4. Now let's move on to question number 5. So 5 is find the equation of the normal to the curve. This is the curve at the point P, where the value of x is minus 1 over 3. So when you have the value of x, you have to find the value of y. So y is equal to half ln 3 times this will be minus 1 plus 2. That will be half ln of 1. Now ln 1 is equal to 0, so this will become 0. So your point P will be minus 1 over 3 and 0. That is your point P. Now we have to find equation of normal. So if you want to find equation of a line, you have to find the gradient of line, right? So let's make a drawing so we can see what we are trying to find. For example, here we have your curve, and here we have the point P. So we have to find the equation of the normal. So we know the tangent goes through this at this point. This is a tangent, and the normal will be perpendicular to the tangent, as you can see. So what we can do first is we can first find the gradient of tangent, then we can find the gradient of normal, then we can find equation of normal. So first step, let's find gradient of tangent. So we have to find dy by dx, which is half times 1 over 3x plus 2 times 3. That will be 3 over 2 times 1 over 3x plus 2. Okay, now replace this value back in the equation to find dy by dx. So mt, which is gradient of tangent at the point P, is equal to 3 over 2 times 1 over, this is 3 times x minus 1 plus 2. That should be 1. That will be 3 over 2. So from this information, we have gradient of normal is equal to minus 2 over 3. Now we know that mn of the normal curve is this, and we have the point is minus 1 over 3. So we can find the equation of line. That is your x, that is your y. So you have to y minus 0 over x minus minus become plus 1 over 3 equal to minus 2 over 3. We have to cross multiply, so you will have 3y equal to minus 2x minus 2 over 3. So this is your equation of your normal. That is part 1. Now part 2, the normal to the curve at the point P intersects the y-axis at the point Q. And the curve itself intersects the y-axis at the point R. Question is, we have to find the triangle area of triangle PQR. So we know the point P has been given to us as -3, 0. So we have to find the point Q and point R. So one by one, let's first find the point Q. So we see the normal to the curve intersect the y-axis. So we know that at y-axis, the value of x is 0. So we replace back in this equation at x 0. So 3y is equal to -2 times 0 minus 2 over 3. That will be, this is 0, that will be -2 over 3. So y will be -2 over 9. So in this case, your point Q will be 0 minus 2 over 9. Now we have to find the point R. The point R is the curve intersecting the y-axis at the point R. So again, at y-axis, we know that the value of x is equal to 0. So we place back in the equation, y is equal to half ln 3 times 0 plus 2. That is half of ln 2. So your point R is given by 0, half of ln 2. So now, since we have all the 3 points, P, Q, R, we can find the area of this triangle. So one method I would like to use here is a visual method. We can use a graph. This is your y, and let's say this is your x-axis. X, and this is your y. Let's say the point P is -1 over 3, 0. That's not your point P. Your point Q will be right here, and your point R will be right here. So if you join all three together, you will form your triangle PQR, right? PQR. So as you can see, this is your triangle PQR. Now, how do you find area of triangle? You would say it is half times base and times height, right? So if you observe, we know this value. This is half ln 2. We know this value. It is -2 over 9. And we know this value, which is -1 over 3. So what is this distance? It will be this minus this value, right? So half ln 2 minus -2 over 9. That should be 0.56879 for this distance. Now what is the height? The height is 0 minus this. That will be 1 over 3. So area of triangle is half times base, which is this one, 0.56879, and times height, which is 1 over 3. 1 over 3 times this value times 1 over 3. So 1 over 2. Sorry, 1 over 2 times this value times 1 over 3. That should give you 0.0948. That is your area of triangle for PQR. You can write units square. And that is your question number 5. Let's move on to question number 6. So we have three matrices, x, y, z, are given such that. Question is, write down all the matrix products which are possible using any two of these matrices. So first question I would like to ask is, what is the dimension of a matrix? Dimension is defined by number of rows times columns. That's the dimension of a matrix. Now for this one, what is the dimension of this matrix? You would say it has 3 rows and 2 columns, so that will be a 3 by 2 matrix. How about this one? You would say it has 1 row and 3 columns. It is 1 by 3 matrix. And this one is a 2 by 2 matrix. So one thing you need to know is that matrix multiplication is only possible when the number of columns of the first one is equal to the number of rows of the second one. So these two has to be the same for it to be possible. And the answer is always the first one, m by k. So let's see. So here we can choose, let's say we choose x. X is 3 by 2, so it has to be multiplied by z. If you check, that will be 3 by 2 times 2 by 2. It is possible because these two values are the same. Now next one, we can choose y. Y has to multiply by x because it is 1 by 3 for y. X is 3 by 2. These two are the same. The result will be here is a 3 by 2 matrix, and here you will have a 1 by 2 matrix. So what else do we have? Nope, so that's everything. So basically the two answers is this and this. That's the two possible answer for the matrix products. Now for part B, matrix A, B, and C are such that this is given to you. We have this equation. But first of all, here we have to find A inverse. So as always, to find A inverse, we have to find the determinant of A. We cross multiply, that will be 14 minus 4, that is 18. Now we have to find the adjoint matrix of A, which is, that will be 7, 2, that will be 1 minus 4. So from this we have A inverse is equal to 1 over 18, 7, 1, minus 4, 2. That will be A inverse. Now for part 2, hence find the value of C. So we have to use our equation given to us. So how can you eliminate A? You have to multiply by A inverse A, C, A inverse B. So these two will cancel out. You will have C and A inverse B. So to find the value of C, we have to times A inverse to B. A inverse is 1 over 18. This 7 minus 4, 1, 2 times B given to you by minus 4, 2, 10, 4. Now this is simple matrix multiplication. So rows by column. 7 times minus 4 plus 1 times 10. That should be minus 18. So 1 over 18, the first value is minus 18. And then we have 7 times 2 plus 4. That should be 18 minus 4 times minus 4 plus 20. That should be 36. And we have minus 4 times 2 plus 2 times 4. That should be 0. If you simplify, C is equal to minus 1, 1, 2, 0. That is your matrix C. And that is your question number 6. Okay, so let's move on to question 7. The diagram shows part of the graph y, and the graph intersects the y-axis at the point A. So point A is right here, has a maximum point B, and intersect the x-axis at the point C. Now question, we have to find the coordinates of A. So A is at y-axis. We know that at y-axis, the value of x is equal to 0. So y is equal to 2 cos 0 minus pi by 6. So what is pi by 6? So what I like to do is I like to use degrees for some reason. So pi by 6 is 180 divided by 6 will be 30. So 2 cos of minus 30, that should be 1.73. 1.73. But now if you know the exact value, you would say that 1.73 is actually, because cos of 30 is equal to, you would say it will be root 3 over 2. So let's say cos of 30, that is root 3 over 2. Sorry. So root 3 divided by 2. That will be cos of 30. So minus 30 is the same value. So here we have 2 times root 3 over 2. It can be root 3 as well. So y can be this value for exact value, or you can just write y is equal to 1.73 for your decimal value. So you have two values, you can choose which one do you want to use. Now for part B, find the coordinates of B. B is the maximum point, so you know that at maximum point, you see at max point, we know that dy by dx is equal to 0. So let's find that. So we know y is equal to 2 cos x minus pi by 6. So dy by dx is equal to 2. That will be multiplied by minus sine x minus pi by 6. Now that will be minus 2 sine x pi by 6 equal to 0, So which means sine of x minus pi by 6 is equal to 0. So x minus pi by 6 is equal to 0. So x will be pi by 6 for your exact value. If you want to, decimal is fine as well. Decimal will be divided by 6 will be 0.524, or you can write 0.524. So value of y will be, replace that back in the equation, you will have 2 cos of pi by 6 minus pi by 6, that should be 0. So 2 cos, that will be 2. So your point B will be pi by 6 and 2. That is your point B. So here point A, that will be 0 root 3. Now let's move on to part 3. Find the coordinates of the point C. So if you look, the point C is on the x-axis. So you write down at x-axis the value of y is 0. So our equation is y is equal to 2 cos x minus pi by 6. Y is 0, that will be 2 cos x minus pi by 6. So cos x minus pi by 6, that will be 0. X minus pi by 6 will be cos inverse of 0. So what is cos inverse of 0? That is 90 degrees, which is pi by 2. So x is pi by 2 plus pi by 6, which gives you 1 over 2 plus 1 over 6. That will be 2 over 3 pi. That is your value for x. So your point C is 2 over 3 pi 0. That is your point C. Now for part 4, find this integration. It's pretty easy. So we have 2 cos will be sine x minus pi by 6 plus c. That will be your integration. Now hence find the area of the shaded region. So if you observe, the region will be between 0 and this value was 2 over 3 pi. This is your limits of integration. So you will have 2 over 3 pi 0 of 2 cos x minus pi by 6 dx. That will give you 2 sine of x minus pi by 6 between the limits of 2 over 3 pi and 0. If you simplify, you will have 2 sine 2 over 3 pi minus pi by 6 minus 2 sine of minus pi by 6. So let's find the value. So 2 sine of, let's use radians because we have pi and stuff. That will be 2 over 3 pi minus pi over 6. That should be 2 minus 2 sine of minus pi over 6. That should be minus 1. So 2 minus minus 1 should be 3. That will be 3 units square. And that is your area of this region. That is your question number 7. Okay, so let's move on to question number 8. So the diagram shows a sector AOB. So we have AOB is your sector of circle with radius 12 and angle theta radians. Now, the angle is theta, okay? The perimeter of sector AOB is 47. So we have to use this information to find the value of theta is 1.92. So how do you find the perimeter of this shape? You would say this is 12, this is also 12, so this is, we have to find this. So AB plus 12 is supposed to give you the value of 47. So the value of AB is equal to 47 minus 12 minus 12. That should be 23. Okay, so we know that arc AB is equal to 23. So what is the formula for arc? It is r times theta, which is 12 times theta is equal to 23. So the value of theta will be 23 divided by 12, which is 1.916. 1.9166, which is 1.92 radians. That is your value of theta. This is shown as required. Now for part 2, find the length of CD. So how would you find the length of CD? So if you observe, they tell you that this shape is a rectangle. ABCD is a rectangle, which means that the value of CD is the same as the value of BA. So these two are the same. So these two have the same value. So we can just find AB, and then this will be the same value. So now question is, how would you find this value? So if you observe, you have triangle AOB. We know these two sides, and we know this angle. We can use the cosine rule. So let's do that. So we know that CD is equal to AB. So we can just find AB. So cos of the angle 1.92 is equal to 12 square plus 12 square minus AB square divided by 2 times 12 times 12. So let's solve. 2 times 12 times 12 times cos of 1.92. That should be minus 98.5 equal to, what is 12 square plus 12 square? That will be 288. 288 minus AB square. So AB square is equal to 288 minus 98.5. That should be 189. Oh, sorry, that should be minus. So if you send this one here, or should be plus, my bad. 288 plus 98.5. That should be plus. That will be 386.5. So AB will be root. That should be 19.7. So if AB is 19.7, this means that CD is also 19.7 centimeters. That's your value. Correct your 3SF. Now next one is part 3. Given that the total area of the shape is 425, find the length of AD. So we have to find the length of AD. So where's AD? AD is this one. Let's call this X. We have to find X. Now if you observe, the area of the shape is two parts. One is this rectangle, and one is this area of sector. Right. That's the area of the shape, area of segment, plus the area of rectangle. So how do you find area of rectangle? You would say it is length times width. So CD, we know it's 19.7. So length is 19.7 times width, which is X. That is area of rectangle. Now we have to find area of segment. So how do you find area of segment? You have to find area of sector minus area of triangle to get area of segment. So let's do that. So area of segment is equal to area of sector minus area of triangle. Sector is half r square, which is 12 square. The angle is 1.92 minus triangle half sine of the angle times the two sides, 12 times 12, which will give you what value? Let's find out. Half of 12 square times 1.92, then minus half sine of the angle times 12 times 12. That should give you 70.586 for the area of segment. Now area of shape, area of shape is equal to 70.586 plus the area of your rectangle, which is 19.7x. So 19.7 19.7x, it is supposed to give you 425. Now we have to solve for the value of x. So what is the value of x? So 19.7x is equal to 425 minus 70, so minus answer. That will be 354.4. So x we have to divide by 19.7. That should be 17.99. So x is 18.0. So x is just the length of AD. So AD is 18.0 centimeters. And that is part 3 of your question number 8. Question number 9, we do not use a calculator in this question, so we have to show every step of your work in this question. So now we have p of x is equal to this equation. It is given that p of x and p prime of x are both divisible by this factor. So let's find the value for x for when this happens. So we have to equate this to 0, which means x is equal to 3/2. Now our next step is to find this one. So p of x is 3/2 is supposed to give you 0. So equal to a, that will be 3/2 cube minus 4, 3/2 square, plus b, 3/2 plus 18, that is supposed to give you 0. So let's see what do we get. So that will become a times 27 over, this is 8, minus 4 times 9/4, plus b times 3/2 plus 18. If you simplify, this one goes away. That will be 27/8a minus 9 plus 3/2 b plus 18. That is equal to 0. So if you simplify again, here we will have, let's do 27/8a plus 3/2 b minus 9 plus 18, that is plus 9, but if you send 9 over here, that will become minus 9. That is your equation number 1. Now we have to find equation number 2. So we have to use this one. So what is p prime? P prime of x is just differentiate of p of x. So let's do that. So p prime of x is equal to 3a. So 3a of x squared minus 8x plus b. Now p prime of x is 3/2. That is supposed to give you 0. So 3 times a times 9/4 minus 8 times 3/2 plus b supposed to give you 0. Now let's simplify. You will have 3 times 9 is 27/4a. This will become 4. So 4 times 3 will be minus 12 plus b equal to 0. So now we can send 12 over here. Let's make b the subject of formula. So here we have b is equal to 12 minus 27/4a. That is my second equation, or we have b as my subject of formula. So we can replace b in this equation. Let's see what we have. So that will give me 27/8 times a plus 3/2 b, that will be 12 minus 27/4a equal to minus 9. Let's simplify. This will become 27/8a plus, so this will become 6, that will be 18, minus, that will become, what is 3 times 27? That should be 81/8a equal to minus 9. Now let's see what do we have. So we have to send 18 on this side. You will have, so here we have 27a minus 81a. Both have the same base, so we get same base of 8. So what is 27 minus 81? So let's do this here. All on this side. So 27 minus 81. So let's do 81 minus 27. That is 7. That is 10. That will be 3. That will be 4. 54. That will be minus 54a is equal to minus 9 minus 18. That should be minus 27 over 1. Now let's simplify and see what can happen. So right now we have, on this side we have minus 54a over 8. Let's divide by, let's divide by 2. You have 4, you have minus 27. Okay, so now replace back, you will have minus 27 over 4a is equal to minus 27. So let's solve for the value of a. So from this you have value of a is equal to minus 27 times 4 divided by minus 27. So this gives you 4. These two cancel out. So a is equal to 4. So you have shown that the value of a is 4. So let's find the value of b. b is equal to 12 minus 27 over 4 times 4. That will be, what is 27? So 12 minus 27, so 27 minus 12, that should be 5, 1, minus 15. So value of a is 4, and value of b will be minus 15. That is for part 1. Now let's move on for part 2. Using the values of a and b, factorize p of x completely. Okay, so right now what is p of x? So p of x is your function ax cubed, so 4x cubed minus 4x squared minus 15x plus 18. So we know that this is a factor, so we can divide by this, find the remainder. Find the quotient of this function. So let's do that. So we have 4x cubed minus 4x squared minus 15x plus 18. Now we have to do long division by 2x minus 3. So first question, how can you make 2x become 4x cubed? You have to multiply by 2x squared. So you will have 4x cubed. Then you have to minus, this is 6x squared. These two will go away. So minus 4 plus 6 will be 2. 15x plus 18. So next question, how can you make 2x become 2x squared? You have to multiply by plus x. So that will become 2x squared minus 3x. That will go away. Minus 15 plus 3, that will be minus 12x plus 18. Now how can you make 2x become minus 12x? You have to multiply by minus 6. That will become minus 12x plus 18. That will be 0. So from this you will have p of x is equal to 2x minus 3, 2x squared plus x minus 6. Now let's factorize this. So this remains the same. This will be, this is 2x, this is x. What is the factor of 6? 6 can be 2 times 3. So let's put 2 here, let's put 3 here. For us to get plus 1, it has to be 2 times 2 plus 4 minus 3. So this is your answer for p of x to be factorized fully. So let me write this down again. So p of x factorized will be equal to 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3 again, x plus 2. That is your factorization completely. Now let's move on to part 3. Hence find the values of x for which p of x equal to x plus 2. So let's do that. So what is p of x? So right now we have p of x is equal to 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, and x plus 2. that is p of x, that is equal to x plus 2. So we have to solve and find the values where this is true. So one thing I can do is I can send this one over here, right? Let's just send this over on the left side. You will have 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3, x plus 2 minus x plus 2 equal to 0. Now next up we can factorize this one outside. You will have x plus 2 outside, and then you'll have 2x minus 3. So this happens twice. It can be just square. That'll be minus 1 equal to 0. Then we can solve now. So first one will be x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x will be minus 2. And here it will be 2x minus 3 square is equal to 1. 2x minus 3, that is 1. Sorry, so that will be plus minus 1, right? Because square root will be this way. Now 2x minus 3 can be 1, or 2x minus 3 can be minus 1. So 2x can be 4, so x can be 2. Now 2x can be 2, and x can be 1. So your values of x will be x is equal to minus 2, 1, and 2. And that is your answer for part 3. And this is your question number 9. Now question number 10, part A. As you can see, we have a speed time graph. Now the particle travels at u is right here, for 20 seconds. Same speed for 20 seconds. And then decelerates uniformly for 10 seconds to a speed of u by 2. Now in this 30 seconds, so 0 to 30, the distance traveled is 165. So we have to use this information to find the value of u. So as you know by now, the distance traveled is area under graph is equal to 165. So let's break this down into two parts. So for the first area, from 0 to 20, it is area of rectangle. So let's write this down. 0 to 20, that will be 20 times u, plus 20 to 30, it will be area of trapezium. That will be half sum of parallel sides. So this side will be u by 2, and this is u. U by 2 plus u times the length in between will be 10. It is supposed to give you 165. So now we have this equation. We have to solve for the value of u. So let's simplify. What is this one? That is half plus 1. That should be, so we have 20u. So 2, that will be 5. So 5, that will be 3 over 2 u equal to 15. So this, we have to times 5. 7.5 plus 20, that will be 27.5 u equal to 165. So u will be 165 divided by, that will be 6. So value of u will be 6. Now for part 2, find the acceleration of the particle between this and this. So here it is acceleration. So acceleration will be what? We have a formula which is acceleration is final speed minus initial speed divided by time. So final speed will be u divided by 2, which is 3 minus 6 divided by 10. That will be what? 3 minus 6 divided by 10, that should be minus 0.3. So acceleration is equal to 0.3 meters per second square. That is for part 10a. Let's move on to part b. A particle p travels with a velocity given by this equation. So part 1, find the speed of p at point O. So we know that at point O, the value of t is equal to 0. So replace 0, t by 0. You will have e0 minus 4 power 3. E power 0 is 1 minus 4. That should be minus 3 power 3, which is minus 27. So minus here is only direction because we have velocity. Now for the speed, Speed does not have direction. That will be 27 meters per second. That should be your answer. Now for part 2, find the value of t for which p is at rest. At rest, the value of v is equal to 0. So here we have, so this is the equation of v, e t squared over 8 minus 4 power 3 is equal to 0. Now we have to solve for the value of t. So step by step, first thing we have to send this over here. You will have t squared over 8 minus 4, that will be still 0. Then you have t squared over 8 equal to 4. Then you have t squared over 8. If you send e over here, you will have ln 4. T squared will be 8 ln 4, so t will be root of 8 ln 4. That is 3.33 for your value of t. It will be at rest. Now for part 3, find the acceleration of p at time t equal to 1. As you know, acceleration is equal to dv by dt. So now we know v is equal to e t squared over 8 minus 4 power 3. What is dv by dt? That should be, first we have to multiply by the power, so 3 t squared over 8 minus 4 minus 1, that will be 2. Then multiply by the differentiation of the inside, you will have 2t over 8. This is 0. Now let's simplify. We need to have t equal to 1. So replace, you will have a is equal to 3 times 2 over 8 times 1. That will be 1 over 8 minus 4 power 2. So you'll have 3 times 2 over 8 times e power 1 over 8 minus 4 square. That should be 6.16. So your acceleration will be 6.16 meters per second square. That is your value for A when the value of t is equal to 1. And that is your question number 9. Question number 11. The variables x and y are such that ln y is plotted against x in a straight line is obtained. This line passes through those 2 points. So we have one point is 4, 0.20, and we have 12, 0.08. So we have 2 points where this line passes through. Now, given that y is equal to this equation, find the values of a and b. So pretty easy. First step is we have to express this in terms of ln y and x. So we can take ln on both sides. You will have this. Then we have to simplify. That will become ln a plus ln bx. So ln y will be x ln b plus ln a. As you can see, this is in the form of y is equal to mx plus c, where this is your gradient. So let's find the gradient. So ln b is your gradient. That will be y2 minus y1, so 0.08 minus 0.2 divided by x2 minus x1. So let's do that. 0.08 minus 0.2 divided by 8. That should be minus 0.015. That will be ln b. So the value of b will be exponential of that power of that. That will be 0.985. That is your value for b. Now what is the value of a? A is just your intercept. So let's use a point. Let's use the point 40.2. This is your value of x. This is your value of ln x. Replace back in this equation. You will have ln y is 0.2 equal to x is 4. ln b is equal to minus 0.015 plus ln a. So ln a is equal to what? That should be 0.2 plus 4 times 0.015. That is 0.26. A will be exponential of the value. That will be 1.30, correct, to 3SF. So from here we have value of A is 1.30, value of B will be 0.985. Now move on to part 2. Find the value of y when x is 6. So equation will be ln y equal to x, ln b is equal to minus 0.015, and the value of ln a is plus 0.26. Find the value of y when x is this. So ln y is equal to, x is 6, that will be minus 0.26. So ln y is equal to what? Let's check. 6 times minus 0.015 plus 0.26, that should be 0.17. So y will be exponential of that value. That will be 1.19. So let's find the value of this one. Find the value of x when y is this. So that'll be ln 1.1 equal to x times minus 0.015 plus 0.26. Let's solve for the value of x. X will be ln 1.1 minus 0.26 divided by minus 0.015. So ln 1.1 minus 0.26 divided by minus 0.015. That should be 10.979, which is 11.0, correct to 3SF. That is your value of x. And this is your question 11, and that was the last question. And as always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.